myself. Oh, one day I'm gonna end up broken. Okay. Nope. Alright, very well. I am now ready. Welcome, Internet. It is I, Anime Mars Guy here, with another stream called Come Chat With Me 7. It's the 7th episode now of Come Chat With Me. And I am glad you're all here with the ride. You've all have endured for so long of me just yapping, but at the same time trying to entertain you as best as I can. But here we are on the 7th episode. I am surprised I have lasted for this long. But anyway, I'm hoping you all are having a great Wednesday so far. If you're in the UK especially, we only have 4 days this week and it's weekend already. And yeah, oh, I would say it was a good day today for me. Slightly relaxed. I finished work on time, went home, had my dinner. Now I'm finished showering. Now I'm just streaming. Don't feel rushed. I don't feel like I have a million things I need to do or get completed. I feel relaxed and calm for once, which is great. Which is a very good thing. But you know, sometimes where life just rushes you at such where you just feel like you don't know what you're doing anymore. You feel very overwhelmed. Everything is a daze or haze, and you're just trying to get by. You're trying to get all your necessities done, feed yourself, clean yourself, and somehow rest your mind so you can get ready for tomorrow of another uh, not so meaningful work day if you don't enjoy your work, especially. So yeah, it gets like that, doesn't it? Sometimes where there are days where you just feel you just don't know what you're doing anymore. You're just trying to survive, and you just um, let the days go by so quickly you don't even remember what just happened. And I have to confess, at times where I feel like that when I'm driving, which is really bad, because I get to a destination, I literally wonder to myself, how did I get here? I don't remember driving here. I know I'm meant to drive and come to this location, but I don't remember the driving process of getting to the location. And it's just like all of a sudden my mind just woke up, just realized, wait a minute, how did I drive here? Where did I park my car? Because you are on your survival ability has put your mind on such an auto mode. You've literally become a passenger of your own body, and you you're just cruising by. And it's scary when you just realize that. Hold on, I just didn't. I don't remember or uh, like kind of like was aware of driving, and sometimes I'm like that, which is really bad because I could get into an accident if I'm not vigilant. Because the whole point of driving is you have to be vigilant. You have to be aware of your situation and everything. So yeah, it gets scary when your survival instincts kicks in like that. So I try to keep myself, my brain activated and everything by having like podcast or not videos, like voices, going on in the background. So just keep my mind awake and aware that yeah, I'm driving. I shouldn't put myself in autopilot. I need to be aware of the road. But enough of that. I would say on the internet, I have seen a lot of weird news going on around the internet, the web. Uh, I have perused a number of YouTubers' videos talking about current situations and different topics, ranging from different topics. Some people talk about politics, some people talks about wacky situations, some people talks about just other YouTubers, dramas, and all that stuff. It's very entertaining, I have to say. It it at the same time it's just like wow, there there is a lot of things going on, and your mind is trying to process all these information. It gets to the point where you're like wondering, am I even really paying attention to what they're saying? Apart from just getting dopamine fix I want of something new, something exciting, some drama going on in your life. Because TV drama is no longer hitting the high that we all used to get from these amazing, storytellings and shows that used to do really good storytelling and all that stuff. I mean, I'm not saying there isn't any right now, but there's very far in between, too few, I should say, too few in between. Before we used to have many classics we can watch from one array to another. If you don't like this one, you got another one. You got another show you can watch. It's still the same format, same style, but the storytelling is different. That's all. It's just so it's just like nowadays, it's like we have been spoiled by the internet that we have too many options and choices to the point where we have overdosed ourselves with these indulges of internet drama that we're no longer able to consume one in a slow paced manner, two, we're not able to enjoy it, and three, we can't really allow ourselves to breathe and think about what we've just watched. So, yeah, it's an unfortunate situation. I don't see it changing anytime soon unless all of a sudden the government decides to regulate the internet itself that allows people to have certain curfews, a certain age group have curfews, how long you can use the internet for, and etc. etc. So it's not going to change at any time. I don't see it changing. The only thing I can think of right now is that as an internet social media content creator myself, or want to be, aspiring to be, I have to get with the time. I have to somehow able to do the videos that is um, relatable to the market. Now, what I mean by relatable to the market, I mean one first thing of all is that when you are creating any form of video, they have to be able to one draw the attention of well the the customers, consumers on the internet. Now, what I find in that is that, especially on short form, no matter how great of a story I may believe I have created or how entertaining I believe it is, the the fact of the matter is that no one is going to watch more than 30 seconds if they are not a fan of your content. Most people are only going to go up to maximum 30 seconds and they will move on. Even if it is very entertaining and they know it's entertaining, but because the story is too long for them for even a 3 minute short video, they will move on. And so, because of finding out this myself, I have to readjust my content and the way I do storytelling. Now, am I going to shorten the entire story into 30 seconds? No, not really. I will continue to do my usual 3 minute storytelling videos that I can do, but I may even pivot into doing more than 3 minutes storytelling if the content I am filming requires it becomes more than 3 minutes. So yeah, it's just realizing that obviously myself as um, creating these videos, you you have to understand the market, you have to understand the people, You got to understand how they consume it as well. It's unfortunate you won't be able to change it unless you have provided a alternative of a physical product or something that you can make them change their habits. And that's the hardest part because the only way you can change the very essence of the habit of people, well, people's habit, you have to change a certain aspect of their um, daily occurrence, things that they will do. I've learned this through marketing and the habits, the habitual things. Like for instance, Steve Jobs to Apple, the toothpaste, the Febreze, if I remember correctly, the company Febreze, how they added the spraying of like spraying the fragrant air in your room as part of your cleaning duties because before Febreze was a company, before even existed, I mean, sorry, let me just readjust my mask because it's kind of itching my face and it's not very good for my eczema. There we go. Ooh, itchy, itchy. So yeah, for let me start with Febreze. So Febreze, if you're not aware of what that is, it's a a cleaning product that eliminates odor when you spray it in the room or wherever you are to get rid of really bad odor smell. For instance, uh, in a toilet, fecal matters, or people's farts, or body odors, and or dog animal odors as well. So Febreze was the pioneer for this kind of like um, technology and a, a product that they put into the market where they it main point is that Febreze has created a technology, a product where when you spray it, it actually eliminates the odor of the thing that's in your house. So, for instance, if you are a pet owner, you may have realized that your house smells like an animal, like a barn animal. If you're not able to clean, if you don't clean your animals or your pets daily or very well, there is a smell. There is a certain smell, especially for me who don't own animals. I can smell people's house or where they live, animals basically, especially if they don't clean it very well, because it's a mixture of one is the animal's body odor, their fecal matters, and their other bodily fluids that may have been spread around the entire um, house. So Febreze has created this aerosol technology where it can target that particular smell, that lingering smell especially, to completely get rid of it, eradicated it. The only problem is when it came out, although it's a fantastic technology they have created, no one uses it because it's not none of anyone's habit that time to once they finish cleaning the house, wiping the floor, sweeping the floor, whatever it is, hoovering and all that stuff. No one has a habit of just also get the Febreze and spray, and then that, and then ends the cleaning um, ritual for your house. No one has done that because it was never there to begin with. So how did Febreze tackle this situation? How did they made it into a part of everyone's daily habits of creating this no, like your cleaning ritual where once you finish hoovering and all that stuff, then you spray the Febreze to complete then which then uh, signifies the end of your cleaning ritual. Well, they were sending a questionnaire to people that used the product because they did sell it on the stock market, on stock market, the shelves and the stocks and everything. It wasn't flying off, despite what they believe it should do. Even though they done all the markets and all the research and the advertisement and everything, it wasn't hitting the average person or the everyone else. It wasn't hitting that for some reason. So when they found someone that was that loves the product, They went to interview her to say, can we, come to not only film you while you clean and use the product, but can we also ask you questions as to why you love the product? And she said, yes, happily. So they went to her house, realizing why, and then she told them, the company, why she loves Febreze so much. It's because one, she works in a zoo, and the animals that she particularly looks after in the zoo is the skunk, the skunk animal. So you can imagine the odor that she has on her body because of one is the zoo animals that she has to look after. So there's dozens of zoo animals' fecal matters everywhere, bodily odor everywhere. So it's stuck onto her body then, because she has no choice, but that's her part of her job. She has to work with animals, especially in the zoo. And especially the one that she looks after the most is skunk. So as we all know what kind of animal skunk is, it's a very, very pungent animal when they release that, defensive mechanism of the spray. So very pungent and very pungent um, smell. And because of that, her entire body, she can't seem to get rid of that odor. No matter how much she clean herself, and no matter how much she clean the house, especially, she just can't get rid of the odor. As uniforms, especially as well, she can't get rid of it. Ever since she got Febreze, she was delighted the fact that it actually does get rid of the odor, the lingering odor that was on her body, in her house, and on her uniform or uniforms. And as they interview her and they filmed her doing her cleaning ritual in her house and everything, they realized something. They saw something that could be the best marketing tool and the advertisement that they need to do to show that people why they should buy Febreze is when she was finishing her cleaning, when she finished wiping down, using the wet cloth, wiping down everything, dry cloth and all that stuff, hoovering and everything. She then got the Febreze out, sprayed the room, and she had this smile on her face, knowing that she feels fulfilled. The sigh of relief, a sigh of fulfillment, where it's done now. And I know I've done a good job in cleaning, and the clean of the Febreze smell is gonna also signify of the cleanliness of my house because of the smell it produces as well. Because the smell doesn't the fragrance, the smell fragrance, like the very nice smell fragrance from Febreze does not mean it doesn't get rid of the smell. It's just a smell fragrance. It's the actual technology inside the spray itself. When you spray on certain things, it will get rid of the odor. It's not the smell itself. But anyway, so when they saw her having that sigh of relief, that um, the feeling of completion, and the smile as well, they realized they pivoted in the wrong direction of how they should advertise the company and the product. So they realized, okay, we know what to do now. So they did redo the entire shoot. What they done is, instead of showing how great the product is what they done is showing the house is covered in terrible odor. Because of the terrible odor, you can't get rid of it. And instead, you got the lady get the Febreze out, sprays, and then she's like, finally, it's back to normal. Or she was cleaning or something, and then she started to spray the Febreze, and then she's like, the satisfaction of completion. And that's what triggered everyone. I was like, I need that in my life. I need that satisfaction. I need a sigh, that relief of satisfaction I needed. So they created a new habit. Now, obviously, I'm not saying we can replicate that sort of style or we can do the same thing. And what I'm trying to say is that through this useless jibber jabber of my yapping, what I'm trying to say is that if I can't bring a certain level of similarity in habits of change for people to, well, how they consume short form content, there's it's it's not the way people consumers watch short form content is not going to change at any point. Like I said, I don't believe I have something that can change people's habits unless I am bringing forth some form of product, if that makes sense. Because I think the way you can change someone's habit very easily is through the use of products. But if it's through social media content and telling how people to consume social media, it's going to be hard because you, again, this is on a different level of changing people's habits because they obviously social media company has changed habits of people how they consume content. But again, you see, is that I am not providing the product because the social media company, they are providing a product which is social media itself, and they are providing a service, a very form of type of a product service they are providing. So if I'm not bringing something similar where I'm providing a product service, there's no way I can change people's habit. So that's what I'm trying to say. After this long, elaborate of explanation of what I was trying to say is, yeah. So I'm just saying that I've thought of a way of I'm gonna do my future content after this new video I'm creating right now. After this one, all my new videos is gonna change in a different way and the way how I'm gonna post and stuff, and etc. etc. But nonetheless, is am I am improving my editing ability, the way I do things and everything, because that's how it is as a human being. You have to strive for improvement. You have to keep on moving forward. If you stagnate, you're not gonna go very far in your life, and you're only gonna end up being in a situation where you're just slide by, if that makes sense. But anyway, I believe I've talked long enough about one particular topic. Let us move on to a different topic instead. I would like to talk about things that I've watched on the internet. Let me just get it out first. Let me just remind myself. Uno momento. Let's see. What was it I saw that was really, really funny? Ah, here we go. Now, this was interesting, but at the same time, I thought it's a very sad reality. Now, if you have noticed or seen it, you probably have seen it as you all are on the internet anyway. It's the situation in Twitch where there's this lady um, who is known as Magpie, and she's obviously done something very controversial on the internet. Now, I don't know her. This is the only first time I've seen her on the internet through this controversial situation. And that is the fact that she has a human pet, which she's sort of like doing a reinventement of Hassan Piker's situation of, when he shocked his dog and everything, or allegedly shocked his dog. So she is like sort of like reinventing, or she is redoing something similar, where she is shocking her pet through a shock collar, but instead it's a human instead. And the drama then unfolds to the point where there is a huge controversial situation and hypocrites on the terms and service of the Twitch. Now, I am not a Twitch partner. I don't know much about Twitch's terms and services, apart from knowing. I think everyone would know that, common sense wise, you will not, show any form of nudity on there or anything illicit on there. But any other terms of services, I'm not sure. They may have other clauses. I've only realized that you can't show hips. Uh, Apparently you can't show hips. I don't know. Like it's very weird. I just know the only basic one was like no 18 plus. Very obvious. You can't show 18 plus stuff on there for obvious reasons because well, there's kids here. But nonetheless, Mark Pie has has done a lot of controversial things on there, and VTubers are obviously talking about the situation, saying that it's a huge hypocrite when VTubers were to do certain things, they would get banned. But if it's very provocative, illicit behavior, especially very lewd actresses. Well, no, I shouldn't even call them actresses. That's a very demeaning way of calling actresses and defiling their job as well. I should call these uh, unprofessional ladies on the internet uh, showing, their bodily parts for the internet to see. And obviously, the CEO of Twitch is a big fan of them, and apparently, the the what's the word? Staff members? Yes, the staff members of Twitch as well. They are also a big fan of female bodily parts being shown on the internet. Now, reason for it? Well, I think most people can guess is that, well, they're men, very basic, basically. These men love watching half naked women. Now, nothing wrong with men wanting to see half naked women, but I don't think it should be at the expense of other people's, you know, other people's expenses, and especially if there's a workplace, because one, it's a professional setting. You should set a standard for professionalism, and well, two, it it's the internet. You can find all sorts of things on the internet, and I don't think you need to go on Twitch, of all places, to see these stuff. It shouldn't even be on Twitch to begin with, I believe, because again, there's many minors, youngsters on the internet, and Twitch is one of them that provides services for youngsters. And it's an all great thing to see that you have, well, unprofessional ladies doing these kind of things that is very illicit. So I totally get it that this is a very hypocritical thing to do, and to show favor on one particular group of people as well. Now, I don't know anything about the VTuber drama that they are having whenever they do something similar, they will get banned. I don't know. I don't follow a lot or many or even long enough to know about it. The only VTuber I watched so far right now, I'm a semi fan of it, is Mugalana. That is the only one I've seen so far. I haven't seen any other VTubers. I may have seen like a clip or two, but I don't know their name. I don't know who they are, or know them enough to know their character persona and stuff. Um, but nonetheless, it's the fact that I don't know about the I don't know about whether or not they do get banned or not if they were to do something similar to what human females on Twitch, IRL human females do on the internet, if they were to show like very illicit things as well. But yeah, it's just it is a very weird, weird situation on Twitch. It's an unfortunate one as well because as a person as someone as you would believe that they are running a company, they will try to show as much as possible of unbiased and impartial biases on people who uses their content, their uses their product service. I mean, but it seems to put me that these people that works in Twitch are trying to push as far as they can to turn it into something that they were not meant to be to begin with. So it's sad. It's very very strange indeed, and I don't like the fact that they're doing this because, as I said, there is quite a lot of youngsters on Twitch, as far as I know. They also use this platform, unless unless there's outdated data. That is no longer the case. There's only 18 plus is allowed to use this social media platform. But if that is if that is the case, I do apologize. Then I take that back. But still, nonetheless, still weird to do these situations on this platform. But yeah, yeah, internet can be weird. Oh, I got a message. Do a black backflip, host 2S. I say to you, no, I do not want to do a backflip, especially in my own room. Yes, this is my own room and I plan to do a backflip and I can't do a backflip, so no, no thank you. I will not do a backflip. I'll do this. You see this pen? Imagine it's me. Whee! Flop, 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 flop. And then land. Look at that. Backflip with a pen. So, there you go. There you go. To host 2S. Your dream has come true of me doing a backflip with a pen. All right. Oh, right. Well, I think I've bored you enough. Oh, sorry, my eczema is kind of flaring up. I think I bored you enough with that topic. I am going to move on to a different topic now, which I have revisited watching a good old video, which I thought it was really, really funny. Now, I'll show you what I mean, what kind of video I saw. If my phone decides to load. Here we go. Oh, that's an ad. Don't know. Okay, let me. Ah, here we go. Who have seen this video? If you can see what I am showing you. There we go. There we go. Who have seen this video? Now this, I um, I find it funny, only because of the fact that it's how everyone always said it. That is that literally a a a real life version of a stereotypical Reddit mod coming to life on the internet for everyone to see, and I do agree with it because as if anyone's been on the internet long enough, they would know what Reddit is, and they would know that um, what a Reddit mod is. Now, for me, I know what Reddit is. I do not know what a Reddit mod is until that video came out. Then I know, oh, as what a Reddit mod is about. Okay, so now I get it. So, but I thought it was really funny, only because when people were saying about, oh, this is literally the real life version of a Reddit mod. This is what a stereotypical Reddit mod is, and all that stuff. Now, as someone who doesn't know what a Reddit mod is, I it's hard for me to picture what a Reddit mod would look like. But after understanding and well, getting more information about what a Reddit mod does, it makes a lot of sense at the same time now after seeing the video again and make the context of it and everything starts to fill in the blank and all that stuff. And I thought, this is really funny. Now, the reason why I'm rewatching this video again only because it's entertaining and funny. I am a sucker for these kind of things where people does these weird and embarrassing and funny videos for the world to see. Not saying that I don't do these videos like I'm doing right now with live streaming, but I like to believe and delusion myself that I am not as bad as that. But nonetheless, is that when I was rewatching this video and I'm watching it from a commentator that is reacting to that video from Penguin Z0 or Moist Critical or Charlie. Now, I I like watching his video as well because he says a lot of he shares a lot of wacky news and stories of what's happening on the internet. So it keeps me up to date with the internet as well without me having to peruse um, virtually myself. So it's great when you have commentators like them to do these like sort of like a news round for you. But nonetheless, watching that video, it does give me good chuckles. It does makes me feel it gives me comedy vibe. It is like watching a comedy video. And I remember watching the his re that person's react to Moist Critical's react of his video. So react of a react of a react. Does that make sense? React of a react. React of a react. No, it's react of a react. Yeah, there we go. And he's and how he's explaining himself as to the context of it and why he's got wrongfully banned and so on and so forth. I thought it's really funny because it it's like it's a bit similar to when you read your old text messages when you thought what you said back then was amazing, was like Shakespearean poetic verses. But when you read it back again as an older, mature person of yourself, you realize you were full of cringe and you just want to dig a hole and bury yourself inside it and never want to see the day of light ever again. It's a bit similar like that, except he hasn't entered the maturity of revisiting his old self just yet and experiencing the cringe. He's still in the cringe mode. So he's still in his youthful phase, let's just put it that way. But nonetheless, it's the fact that he wholeheartedly believes what he says, and he is very adamant in what he says as well. And obviously, why everyone, well, most people would find this funny and would laugh at him is because I do believe fundamentally is that we all have went through similar phases once in our life, just not at the age that he is doing it right now. These situations mostly would occur when you were in your teenage years. Am I correct? Or early 20s at at most. Otherwise, if you are now in the workforce, mid 20s to late 20s, all the way to 30 plus and all that stuff, you would tend to do less of that because you realize, well, it was very childish of me, but I've learnt it and I know it, so I won't do that and I will react differently to show my maturity of that I have grown up. But nonetheless, is that the fact that this person has not, unfortunately, gone through the grown up phase yet. Hasn't gone through it just yet. He's still going through it. Still going through his youthful phase. So yeah, lucky for him. He still has time. He still has room to grow, I believe. But yeah, rewatching that video, it does bring me joy and it does gives me a good laugh. Again, like I said, I'm a sucker for these kind of like funny drama. Not really funny drama. It's more like terrible drama of other people's terrible life, if that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. But nonetheless, it's it is it's fun to rewatch old videos like these and just laughing at people's misery. Now, obviously, I won't try to laugh at them for too long because it's you have to get on with your own life as well. Laughing at other people's misery it can only bring you so much joy. It just becomes sad when you're using other people's misery to bring yourself back up, only to make yourself feel like you're normal. Where obviously that's not the way to go forward. But I'm just saying that once in a while, it brings joy. It brings some joy as well. Yeah. So that's that. Now, the next one I want to share with you guys as well. Hold on, hold on. I am trying to find the video that I thought was really funny. Well, not really funny. It's more of that. Oh, entertaining. That's quite wacky. Where was it? Ah, this is the problem when you watch too many videos, you get to the point where you don't know what was the video that where the video is now when you want to find it again and to share it on the internet just for you guys to know what I was trying to talk about. Where was it? Oh, come on. Ah, there it is. Now, I I lost it. Damn it. No, it's not that one. I thought I had it. Ah, forget it. I can't find it. I thought I found it, but I didn't. It doesn't matter. I can entertain you guys with my own thoughts. Obviously, my own thoughts can be quite scary sometimes, and I can always go into a deep rabbit hole of things that I do not know what I'm talking about, or just constantly rambling and yapping. But nonetheless, I always thought to myself is that you know what? I wish we have more weekends, like more days to rest. So, for instance, I wish I get to have Mondays off every week. At least Monday doesn't feel like the blues, and Sunday actually feels like a Sunday weekend where you get to relax. Because once it's Sunday, you always don't you always find it weird? Is like I'm relaxing, but I'm not going to work. But it's the fact that you know consciously that the next day you're going back to work, so you have to somewhat you had your fun on Friday night and Saturday, but now you have to bring yourself back into a routine. So you not only have to go back to sleep at a right time, you also have to mentally prepare yourself to go back to work on Monday. And it's like, well, Sunday should be relaxing, but except it feels like I am now stressing myself to of going back to work, even though I'm not going to work on Sunday. I mean, obviously, not everyone is the same situation. Some people do go work on Sunday, but let's just say most people that goes to do office job type of base of work, and they do the 9 to 5 from Monday to Friday. Everyone will have the same feeling where it's like, oh my goodness, it's Monday already. I've got to I've got to prepare myself. I've got to sleep early. I have to get my work clothes ready. I have to get my if you pack lunch as well. If you pack some food for yourself, so you can just to get eat healthy and everything. I have to get that ready. I'll have to get my office works ready, my paperwork ready, whatever it is. For work, I need to get them ready. So that way, once it's tomorrow morning, I feel less rush. Everything's already prepared. I can just grab the things and zoom out. But most of us are like that. We always wake up at the very last moment, then get ourselves ready as quickly as possible, and then zoom out like you're the Olympic runner. You're like Usain Bolt, just going zoom, 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 just to brush your teeth, to get yourself cleaned up, or then put your clothes on, and then eat. And then once you finish eating, whatever it is you're trying to eat, or your coffee, and then you go to your car, and then once you're in your car, you slam the gas just to go as fast as you can, or the accelerator, or whichever country you're in. You're just going to work as quickly as possible just so you can make it on time. And that is the thing, isn't it? The Monday is always feels like you're rushing, and then once you get go through Monday, feel you start to get back into routine of being feeling less rushed to go to work. You are not waking up as late, as close to as late as possible. You're sleeping. You're doing it less. You're waking up slightly earlier, and then you may sometimes stay in the pivot of that, either very close to being late or very close or just slightly earlier to being late or just on time. And then once it's Friday, you're like, whoop, whoop, wee, whoa, whoa. Everything goes out of your head, and your all your routines, daily routines, is all gone because you can say goodbye. You're going to go out to have fun. You're going to drink till you drop dead. You're going to hang out with your friends, and then you're going to do the same thing like over again on Saturday throughout the entire day. And then once it's Sunday, you're like, ugh, it's over. My weekend. So yeah, that's why I petitioned for Monday to be an actual weekend. So that way, not for Sunday to so you can, hammer yourself again with drinking, but it's more like you give yourself the breathing to get ready. And once it's Monday, you can still relax, but you can still got another day to do like one last relaxation, mentally preparing yourself for the work days to come. Sunday is like a therapeutic way of trying to de escalate, decentralize all the fun you just had for the past 2 nights. Sunday is like the therapeutic moment just to calm yourself. And then Monday is the strategically planned of mentally preparing yourself for work on Tuesday, where you are getting back into routine again. So that's my fault anyway. That's my fault about having Monday off and everything, and I wish I could. But that's just life, unfortunately, isn't it? It's life. We just have to do what we can do. I think it's nice when you get to have peace and quiet, and you get to have moments where you can just think to yourself. You're just able to relax and just feel less overwhelmed and overburdened. By the way, actually, I just had a thought. When I replay all these live streams and everything, I realized that every time I'm talking through the microphone, it makes a clicking noise. Now I'm actually wondering to myself, am I still making that clicking noise? So, one moment while I get a headphone out to plug into my headphones to find out if it is making this clicking noise. Nope, that's not the right one. Here we go. Found the headphone. I have to one day really clean my desk and reorganize things. All right, here we go. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, I'm listening to myself while talking, which is very weird. And my breathing and everything, as you can tell, I'm doing some heavy breathing because I'm quite fat. Unfortunately, I am an old man with some high body fat, so I am quite. Unfortunately, I don't breathe very well. One thing as well is that I have hay fever, so my sinuses and my navel area is quite clogged, so I can't breathe very well. But anyway, other than being very um, other than being very, it sounds very weird to hear myself talking. I don't hear any clicking noise, which is a good thing. Although I didn't realize this microphone is very sensitive into noises that is related to it. If I knock anything, yeah, if I do, it sounds like very ASMR, doesn't it? It sounds very ASMR. Now let's see what's the reason for clicking. Hello, hello. No, that's not doing it. I maxed out the volume. That's receiving the volume noise. Now I'm turning it down. Now it seems to be fine. Hello, 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 hello. Now I don't know how many of you are on the internet as willing to let me know, but can you hear me clearly? And do you hear any clicking noises when I'm talking? Which I'm hoping it doesn't. But if you can let me know in the chat, that would be very helpful because I've only just remembered about it now. And I wished I actually asked this first. But nevertheless, if you can tell me and let me know if you are hearing any clicking noises, that would be much appreciated. You know, I should have actually started every stream with a headphone in, so I can actually hear myself, what I sound like, and am I speaking properly through the microphone? Because here I am, without if I take this off, I can only hear myself talking. You know, your normal way of talking. You know, without realizing whether or not the microphone's receiving the voice and is hearing what I am saying clearly, because in my head I sound clear. I sound um I am sounding every words and phonetic and syllables and enunciation and everything very clearly. However, whether or not the microphone is receiving the same way is a different thing. So now I just thought, why did I not think about, well, oh, there we go. Having my headphones in so I can actually hear myself clearly. Because this works wonder. It actually helps a lot. Well, anyway. Alright. Oh, I just realized something. On a restream, I always change the graphics. I like to use this one. Just so if it's, decides to die again, at least it's showing something nice to watch and view. But anyway. Oh. This is your daily reminder to breathe. When you're having a stressful moment, remember to breathe in and breathe out slowly. I don't know why I did that announcement, but it does help. Breathing does help, to be honest. I wish I learned this sooner, to be honest. That breathing exercises and all that brings comfort and calmness to you. And truly wish that everyone knew about this sooner. Because it's a wonderful, wonderful thing to do, actually. Actually, you know what? For the sake for actually for everyone's mentality as well, because would like I like to see myself as an advocate for everyone's mentality and for positivity as well. Let's do some some breathing exercises for the moment. I mean, I don't know what to talk about. I've already sort of semi run out of things to talk about. I'm a man indeed. I don't talk much, so let's just use this moment to actually just breathe. So breathe in slowly. If you can't breathe in your nose, breathe in with your mouth then. And then breathe out. Slowly breathe in. And then breathe out. I could actually sleep right now. I actually felt very good. That actually felt amazing. That actually felt wonderful, to be honest. I don't know about you. I hope that calmed your mind down and that was able to bring you peace and comfort. Because that definitely gave me peace and comfort. I know it's just a very simple, breathing exercise. Just slowly breathing in and slowly breathing out. But I think we forget to do these kind of things. We can just, sit down, don't have anything in front of us, no internet, no devices, um, nothing, no electronics, just sitting down, staring not into space, but into nature. And well, you, I don't know how everyone lives. Luckily, outside my window, there's a park, so I could just, if I, well, after the stream, I just open the window and the blinds. I just stare into the park and just slowly breathe in and out. I think that really heals my spirit and my soul. It really does. I think that really brings a lot of healing. Now, I'm not trying to be like spiritual or guru like or or whatever. I'm just saying, personally, like you feel healed in an essence where it's very hard to explain because when you talk about spirits and your essence or your soul, it's very hard to grasp it until you allow yourself to be at uh, a peaceful moment and a quiet moment. Because of our daily lives, we are so constrained with all these busyness and quickness. We do forget to be still, just calm down and mellow out. So again, not trying to be spiritual or anything like that. I do really believe that nature itself does bring a certain calmness and stillness to one's very soul. Like it penetrates very deep inside you. You feel something. Like, we always talk about the feeling in your heart. When you feel embarrassed, anger, and all that stuff, you feel something inside your chest like tightens up. It's like something similar to that, but obviously not in a negative situation where you feel the tightness in there. But it's more like a sense of relief and the tension is just released at the same time when you're in nature. It's very weird. It's very fascinating because I know every time I've gone to like the woods or the parks or anything, just doing a simple walk, anything like that, stare into the numerous amount of trees and just breathing in and breathing out. And now, granted, I have taken my hay fever tablets and everything before entering it, so I'm not sneezing while breathing in and stuff. But when you just breathe in, it's just like wow, it's just the calmness and stillness. Just it really brings a very gentle healing to your mind. I have to say, it's very hard to explain until you actually do it yourself. And again, it's not a spiritual thing. It's just uh, think of it like a therapeutic, a therapy. You're doing therapy. You know, we hear people talk to therapists and everything. You feel released and relief at the same time. Well, this is for free. I'm sure there is parts and trees and everything you can go to and just sit there or walk, in a pathway and just um, view, not consume. Like, that sounds weird when you say consuming the forest, but just viewing the forest itself, the glory, the beauty of nature itself, and you feel this peacefulness and the calmness and stillness inside of you. I'd say take it as it's a free therapy. Literally, it's like some people is my therapy. Well, you have to pay to go to the gym, but nature itself is free. You can visit to a lot of places where, well, I like to say some people, like most places, is for free. Most of the natures you can go to, like going to parks and everything and stuff. So just yeah, if you have the chance, I would definitely you know, oh, forgot my but anyway, you know what I mean. I'm saying that, I would advise you to go to these places. I would encourage, that's the word, encourage. Oh my goodness. Encourage you to these wilderness, these you don't need to go like full wilderness beast like, going to like camping and everything. Go to a simple park, just walk in the park. Take in nature itself when you just looking at the forest, the trees, the sky, the grass. It's wonderful. It brings an, a calmness and stillness. No ever, no ever. You cannot explain it until you experience it yourself. Granted, there has to be a good weather as well, because when it's raining and like that, oh my goodness, it does ruin the moment. Unless you don't mind the rain and stuff, then you are good to go. Yeah, but it's now May, so weather tends to be really really sunny and shiny. So yeah, I'd definitely advise and encourage you to take the moment if you whenever you can go and be one with nature. Well, before I finish the stream, it's time for me to read some scriptures. If I can get my Bible out. Now it's weird. I know. Some people's going to say, "Well, why am I reading scriptures all of a sudden?" Well, to me, it's encouragement. It's encouragement, not just to you, but it's for myself as well. I I should be, be more um, responsible in terms of like reading the scripture and the Bible. But I am a unfortunately faulty man with lots of bad habits, laziness especially. But yeah, let's read this one. This is from chapter Matthew, book of Matthew, chapter 13, verse 44, and this will be 44 to 45. This is the parables of the and the pearl. The kingdom of heaven is like treasure hidden in a field. When a man found it, he hid it again, and then in his joy went and sold all he had and bought that field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant looking for fine pearls. When he found one of great value, he went away and sold everything he had and bought it. Well, that is the scripture for today. It's the scripture for myself to encourage myself. Now, well, Internet, it is a pleasure to have you all with me. It's a pleasure that you have stuck with me for so long, hearing me just jibber jabbering, yapping along, and just saying all kinds of things. I am very appreciative for every one of you here, and just itchy nose, itchy nose. That's stuck along with me. That's you know come along with a long way with me. So I want to really extend my gratitude towards you and say thank you to every one of you here that's willing to be a participant of my stream and willing to doing all sorts of things. Well, not all sorts of things, but things. So yeah, thank you, Internet. I am very, very glad that you're all with me here. I'll see you next time. I will see you on, let's see, Monday. I'll see you Monday. I will be Monday. So yeah, see you next time, Internet. Goodbye. I was going to do peace, but I thought, I know, let's just say goodbye. Because, yes, want me to say peace all of a sudden. But yeah, see you next time, Internet. Good night. Have a great evening.